Welcome to Comic Toy Reviews, and this is a review on the Marvel Universe 2-pack of Daredevil and Bullseye. And I have to admit, this is a huge improvement over the Year 1 editions of Daredevil and Bullseye. Those figure molds, if you had those characters, were really bad, and they needed an improved version. And if you get this 2-pack, as far as I'm concerned, you could get rid of the first edition of Daredevil or Bullseye. This is probably the only version you need of these two characters right here. So once you get it, you don't have to get these characters again in the future, because these molds and how they look is good enough. Both figures, Daredevil and Bullseye. The first edition, it just was not a good body mold. Here, Hasbro reinterpreted both characters, and they are excellent now. Before I get to the review, this is the comic book it had. It's Daredevil issue 132. It's a full comic book here. And the funny thing is, I think this comic book was also in the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. Of all the issues to choose to show both characters, Hasbro chose the same comic book. And other than the comic, this is what the figures have. Bullseye has a gun. Silver gun for Bullseye. He can't hold a weapon too good in the left hand, so it's meant for his right hand. But he does have a holster here, and it can hold a weapon. And he has like a dagger type weapon that he could hold. But the funny thing is, it doesn't really grip well in either hand. He's holding it here, but it falls off very easy. He really can't hold it in his right hand. That's not a weapon I'm familiar with for Bullseye. I'm surprised they didn't give him any plastic trading cards, maybe, that he could have held or thrown. Daredevil here, he has better weapons. He has a billy club here, a holster here, and a second one. He can hold a billy club in both hands. Plus you could get both ends, and they can combine to form one big stick. And that's cool. I think the first edition Daredevil, he had nunchucks, and he didn't even have his classic billy club. At least here, in this interpretation, you have the option to have a regular billy club. You can fit both pieces on the side, but it's a tough fit, and suggestion is just to have one piece on the side here and have him holding the other piece like this. Looking at the details, let's just take a look here at Daredevil. The sculpt is really nice. It's like a dark red, but the eyes, you could tell the paint is a little different, or it stands out. You can see the horns. You can see a lot of black shading is on this action figure. The DD here is painted on. It's a light red here. All sculpted and shaded. You can see the belt buckle and the side holster. Back for you. Has a new articulation point there that they're using. Articulation wise, it's good. It's side to side, up, down, good range there. ball jointed shoulders, side to side, up and down. Upper bicep cuts that both work. 1 point for the elbow. The wrist can 360, and this has a open grip to hold his weapon. Same thing here, wrist can 360, open grip to hold his weapon. It's a little different in sculpt than this one. Upper ab crunch here, up and down, side to side. And it actually has waist articulation here. Look at that. That's a new style. This is a little more articulated than other Marvel Universe figures. At the hips here, side to side, can go up and down. Has a upper thigh cut articulation point. You can't move this one too much because of the side holster. He does have double knees. He does have articulation here by the boot area. The feet can go up and down and side to side. Look at that. Up and down and can go side to side. Really articulated action figure. And really well done. And the funny thing is, other than the head change, this Bullseye figure uses the same body mold as Daredevil. Same thing, just some minor changes on it. But let's show you the details on the costume. You could see he has like a smirk to him. Got a smirk. You got his bullseye right in the forehead. When you're in the store, just try to look for a good paint application, especially on Bullseye, because if the paint doesn't look good, you'll be able to notice it quickly. So try to get the best one you can. This is painted on this area here. You can see the painted area here. This belt buckle is a little different than Daredevil. You can see a little design wise here, that's new. The holster is different, but it does attach it the same way at the leg. This area painted as well. And the articulation is the same. Up and down, side to side, but you can get some good poses out of it. Shoulders, side to side, up and down. Biceps, that work. Elbows. Articulation at the wrist. And the right hand's an open grip. Articulation at the wrist here. Open grip. It's a little different on each hand. Upper body. Up and down, side to side. And he does have the waist articulation. Hips, side to side, up and down. Upper thigh articulation, but this one is hindered a bit by the holster. Double knees. Articulation above the boot area. The feet can go up and down and has side to side. Overall, both figures are good. Hasbro really did need to improve both characters, and it's good that this 2-pack gave you a set of action figures that you can use both in your collection. Both are good upgrades, and it's a 2-pack that is worth having. And you probably do not need a Bullseye or a Daredevil action figure in this scale again once you get these two. So it's a good buy and worth picking up. That's my opinion. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Yeah, I used to be Dark Hawkeye, but that whole Dark Avengers thing didn't work out, so back to being Bullseye. Wait a minute. Bullseye, you were Dark Hawkeye? I did not know that. No wonder I haven't seen that guy for months.